You got Nocturne, Orianna, Ball Delivery as well.
Is Narban instigating that we might get like a Renekton or first couple of rotations as well?
Narban sets up Renekton, Cassante, and so on, but we might get it. But the problem is usually pair up Renekton. It doesn't set up Rumble.
Doesn't?
So this is just
No, this is just priority.
Probably a target and bin maybe.
True.
But Rumble picked, and then you're gonna want to layer it with champions that have a lot of AoE setup.
Surely here we go Varus against Rumble, or immobile AD carries against Rumble sometimes can be trash, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it can be a bit tricky. Rumble makes teamfights incredibly hard to play. I'm not gonna go with the immobile. I'm gonna go for Corki. Corki was not banned, unlike last game.
Yep.
Instead of the Corki ban, which they went for last game, they go for the Nocturne Ori Ball Delivery comp, which would have been B1. So now Duo Galio into Rumble. That's my question. Do BLG play it?
Yeah.
I think we've seen Night Galio a couple times. So we'll see. We'll see what response they have. Maybe they don't pick up the Galio, maybe they pick up something else entirely. Jungle pick could be good. Wukong compositions could come out, because you could get on the side of LNG now. It's like a Wukong, Rumble, big AoE setup kind of composition. I forgot Vi was up. Vi Rumble's a disgusting duo.
Vi Yone, I was going to say.
Because
oh no
my
AD.
God. That LNG comp is crazy.
Yeah.
The dive setup they have on a target, if they choose someone's dead, they're gone.
And then what, pair it with like an Ezreal, like self-peel or something? Or maybe like a
or you go
Xayah?
dive. A Kai'Sa could follow up on the dive as well.
Cool, yeah,
if they want to go for that. But then they're going to have to lane swap, and they've got quite a weak laning phase. There's the Galio into Rumble.
So that'll go top. So that has to go top, right? Like, Bin will run that into the lane itself. Now, my biggest question is, do we get those double AD carry bans? Like, BLG obviously want to go AD on 4, because wouldn't that be stronger and then counterpick support?
Yeah.
Or is it better to, like, because I feel like when you have Premier AD carries in SC like Asparis.
So the thing is, it will be Corki AD carry, because you probably want actually, you probably want an AP mid laner, because you have only a Galio in top lane.
Right, okay.
And then you don't want double AD solo laner and jungle.
Well, I guess Yone into Corki, Yone seems fine at some point, right?
So I would imagine they probably want to match mid here with an AP mid laner.
Okay.
Control Mage could be fine. Yone's pretty good into them. We'll see what they pick. Akali could be okay. But they're drafting more for front to back, so maybe a standard Mage.
Do you look at Corki? I mean, I almost forgot that, like, yeah, he probably will just go bot. Do you still look at Corki and go like, bro, that's mid? Every time my brain just...
Corki, for your drafts in Fearless and LEC, Corki is mid generally when there is an AP jungle presence, so Zyra, because there aren't that many AD mids that are good. It's just Yone, Corki, and then there's the drop. So generally, that's why. That's why I think now you don't have AP jungle. It's probably going to be Corki AD carry, which is also very strong. There's the Kai'Sa ban with the dive. Another support pinch maybe on the cards. There are no supports available. Alistair is up. Braum is up. But it's looking pretty rough in the pool right now. Maybe you get like some double range bot lane. Bard could come out. Nata could come out. Emilio lane. It's tricky. It's a tricky one. Maybe with the side of LNG, you get some kind of Nico comp with a dive.
Maybe if you have like Xin Zhao Galio already, I mean, you need Engage to help layer for Galio, right?
Yep.
I was going to say something like what if we had like a Jinx Lulu lane, but maybe that's not enough Engage in your comp.
That could be good too. Jinx Lulu. Essentially what we've got now is a bunch of peel versus a bunch of dive.
Right.
Right. And if you want to go more index more into peel, that's great, but you also need Engage at some point too. It looks like it's going to be the Akali into the Yone, like we said. That's just a solid lane. And they need AP in the middle.
Sorry, again, yeah. Corki's AD carry.
Actually.
No, he's not.
They decided the last second.
Oh my god. My whole suspect the whole time was correct.
But now, you are full AD with a tank Galio top lane as your AP damage profile, which is a bit concerning. And on, maybe he goes something AP. Maybe we get a Nico on at the end. Maybe, no, probably not. We probably get a standard support, and they could go double ranged, LNG. This is weird. Support pool is so pinched. And it's really pinched.
And you're not going to run Pyke versus Ezreal. You're not going to run Pyke or Blitzcrank versus Ezreal. Because that just seems troll.
Yeah. Yeah, of course Blitzcrank into that would be troll. I'm curious to see what they pick, actually. I'm kind of stuck, personally. I never get this hardcore stuck in a draft.
Tahm Kench? For the anti-dive?
No, here you want something that dives with. I would go Nico, personally. I would go something like
Nico. Oh, yeah, for LNG.
Yes, for LNG.
I'm talking about on.
Instead, they're not going to go for that. They're going to go for Braum.
Right.
Right? It gives them a stronger level 1. They have an absolutely insane level 1. There's the Bard versus a mobile... Not even a mobile carry. This is why I didn't want to say Bard, because they've got an Ezreal. And you're not going to be able to Bard ult an Ezreal. So it's a little bit less worth. But they're so pinched now, they're probably going to go for it anyway. Now...
Bro, look at his head. Oh, the Elise.
I always forget this champ exists.
I forget it as well, because it's Healy who gets target bans in LEC. And, like, it's seldom seen but On is a bit of a rat.
This was a tough draft to dissect, by the way.
It really was, actually.
LNG, they had to blind pick a support. And I guess the Rakan band set up the blind Braum, which makes a lot of sense. But then, what do they pick in response? Usually as a range, they go for the, at least for the AP profile.
Now, chat, everyone out there, thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to run ads so you don't get them in the game. You can sub to avoid. A big shout out before to referee Todd, who gifted subs so that a lot of people were able to avoid it. If stream was stopping for that one person, I think they had an ad blocker that was no longer working. That's usually what happens. So, stream's looking fine right now. And we appreciate all you guys being fine with us as well. It's 7:30 in the morning here in Berlin. And you know what? It is kind of nice getting up mega early. Like, I feel productive when I do. I just will regret it when I get later on, you know?
Yeah.
Ads coming.
Yeah, you're going to die later on.
Nah, well, if we have a little bit of a nap, it's fine. Elise is not weird. Elise, actually, strong laning phase. Great roaming as well. I don't know if you go Symbiotic Souls. I can't remember
also,
what they
this is on Elise now. Like, it's very different to... I can't remember who we saw. We saw... Oh, I remember who we saw. It was Moham's Elise last time.
Oh, yeah.
So now, the difference, we're actually going to see a good player, right? No flame, no shade. But we're going to see him and see how he accelerates them out. We saw how he did it on the rail last game, and he doesn't have the big engages this time, but they have dive potential. They have dive threat, and we're going to see how well they accelerate the early game.
And Elise is really good. Champs that run into you as well in a straight direction. I mean, you just cocoon. I guess disengage.
Yeah.
Engage, disengage. So, Elise strong laning.
It's just about the early game, right?
Yeah.
It's just about the early game. Now, I will say, LNG have drafted a very strong level 1.
Oh, yeah.
Outside of the Vi, you have a very good level 1 with the Electric Harpoons. You have Ezreal, Braum, fantastic, probably the best level 1 in the game, and for the cheese. And so they can go and scout level 1 for the invades. And I want them to look to a match or mismatch depending on what they would like to do. Now, I think they probably want to get out of the lane phases at least, but I'm not too sure. How strong is Elise in lane? We haven't seen a good player on it yet. But Galio definitely wants the Rumble lane. So, they're going to flex the level 1 now. Bin's going to be scouted out.
Bin might be in trouble. There's going to be a flash, but which direction does he go towards his team that are walking in as well? He then disappears, and after his flash is gone, the Cocoon starts us off. Wei gets slowed down, but where's the follow-up? Level 1 Elise just says Cocoon, nothing more. Yeah,
so the Harpoon into the Braum, the Braum, what's it called? The Glacial Bite? Who knows?
Winter's Bite.
Winter's Bite.
Yeah.
For the chain slows. And he has to flash away. Yeah. That's going to be really, really big. So now, I would imagine that Photic and Zhuo, they want to mismatch lanes to get Galio out of the Rumble lane. And that's exactly what they're going to do. You can see Ezreal and Braum already heading topside to get out of there. And then you're going to have the weak side Galio and the weak side Rumble. Now, On and Elk are going to show on a ward.
How can you be born in China and still say Zhuo?
Because
bro,
how it's the croissant interest in
Zhuo. Just say even Joe is better than Zhuo.
Oh, this is interesting. Actually, Photic and Zhuo have decided they want to match the lane phases. This is a learning experience for me. I haven't seen Varus and Elise, and I would have assumed that Rumble wants out the Galio matchup, but it turns out no. They're actually going to invade and now map split with the Elise on bot side. That's really interesting. So with the weak Vi level 1, they've got Xin Zhao map splitting, and now that can be a dive on my screen. A level 3 dive down into bot side if Photic takes bad trades, because they do have the Elise. So I want to see how well Wei clears these 3 camps, and then how well bot lane trades. Because again,
which way? You talking about Wei or WeiWei?
Singular.
Singular. Okay, good. Just making sure you got it in. Against Braum makes it hard, but against the dive, I mean, still Zin's out early with Elise damage. This should be good, and you can really juggle aggro in spider form.
So because the waves crash so early now, and the chunk isn't there, maybe Wei decides absolutely not to. He's going to be level 3, but they would have to crash the next 2 waves. It's Haichao. Where did that Q go?
If that phosphorus bomb, well, he walked down for it. Hit would have been dangerous. Now, bot is in a dangerous position as well, but Wei is kind of thinking. He's stacking up Q. He's got 2. Now thinking about going in. Winter's Bite procs onto Photic. He's got the 3rd proc, but Wei's run out of time. Repel up buys said time as BLG, the dive hasn't gone well. And this is the power of Ezreal as well as Comet comes in. Almost secures the kill. They're so close. Wei just needs the W and he gets it. I think Ezreal thought, I'm going to sit here and wait for him to outplay it. But first blood goes over to BLG.
Now, my only criticism of this is that I'm pretty sure Braum Ezreal can stop the map split themselves. They're that strong.
Yep.
But instead, they get map split on, and with
Bin
no
might
contest.
Be dead. Bin has no flash. Vault Breaker in, and this is an easy kill for WeiWei.
Yeah, but it was a nice play, nice juggle. They dropped the tower aggro for 5 seconds. to make it so the tower damage does reset, the ramping effect does go. On the flip side, we have the ramifications of the level 1 with Bin losing his flash, and then the nice setup in the early coming round from top side of popping his flash, and the regank is there after the full clear and the map split. Now that is on Bin, because he knows he's being map split on. But still, not too bad. Can TP back top lane, and he's all good.
I will say, I've been playing Elise support for like 3 years, and everyone said I was trolling. Well, who's the troll now? Look, bro, I've been waiting for this pick to show up because it's kind of like when Twisted Fate support in 2019 was good.
Yeah?
I met with Soaz in 2019 summer.
A broken clock is right twice a day.
Listen, I met with Soaz in 2019 summer. He came on LPL finals, right? And Soaz, because he's like, oh, what are you playing right now? I'm like, oh, I'm playing Twisted Fate support and Elite support. He's like,
oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. He's like, they're good. He's like, especially Twisted Fate support is actually really strong. And he said he also confirmed that Elite support was very good. So if Soaz says it...
When was this?
2019 summer.
Okay.
5 years ago.
Yeah.
Just 5 years ago. Dude, if Soaz says it, I'm right. Like, Volibear, I'm telling you, is broken.
One of the Western top goats. Volibear is very... I was waiting for you to reference that.
Right.
I was like, is this going to be another Volibear incident?
One
day he will be broken and be like, oh yeah, 2 years ago I said that was good.
Yeah, I will say that.
Completely different.
Completely different. He's had so many changes. Oh, man. On's just roaming out early. I mean, this is kind of what we talked about with the Elises. Like, early levels matter. How On gets around the map also matters as well. He's just kind of playing for vision priority right now. He's also got electrocute. I mean, also for the laning phases, as you'd expect. Dude, look at the CS lead bot. Needs to be studied here as with that dive. 20 CS is Elk with the advantage right now.
So Bin has flash now, so there's not going to be a regank anymore. Now I imagine full attention does go to bot side with On rotating up for the grubs. They're going to want to accelerate. They're going to want to regank as well. Photic here before he gets cleansed, as well as flash. He's going to be very susceptible. Now I imagine because of that, WeiWei will probably be down on bot side, shadowing any potential dive. Doesn't look like it's going to be one. Wei's already up top side and he's being chilling. My brain's all over the place. It's too early for this. I can't keep track of jungles.
Not too early for people in America.
In America,
bro.
I gotta wake up.
Bro, we had so many Americans come in before. Have they gone to bed? I think it's nighttime for Americans as BLG look using Fog of War. Wei, he skirts his way through vision. Zika now has Equalizer. Bin's going to get the engage. It doesn't matter if he's level 6. As he flashes away, he also overheats. The timing's so rough, and Wei just takes a free kill. Nicely done from the duo.
Really, really nice. And now you can see On as well, running up through the river to potentially contest grubs after placing some vision. I like that ward that he just placed near Wraiths, because that's going to spot out if the bot lane actually shifts up as well, or if there's going to be a cross-map play instead. And then you know, as Elk, to play safe or not. So On, not actually going to walk up. He's going to half cover, just in case the grubs are being contested. And he's going to walk back down bot once he realizes the grubs aren't being contested. I'm not needed there. Dragon started up now. Can they stop WeiWei doing it? Not gonna
Probably not. No, he just. I think he's just going to walk to it anyway.
They have mid prio though, and then they scouted it out. No, it's not.
No. Well, I mean, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's still a trade, and remember, BLG one step away from getting feats of strength, or at least one part of it. Knight's going to move in, but yeah, LNG take this dragon, open up the game. Gold lead is still heavily in favor of BLG here. 1,300 is the lead. Wei also getting all 3 grubs.
No flash.
Is quite nice, and yeah, they're going to punish this. I mean, Bin has his backup and available. Equalizer down, gives him a bit of time and breathing room. I mean, Zika holds his own. That Equalizer did burn them for a few. Yeah,
the Conqueror stacks up there, and it just really, really hurts. The all in the 1 versus 2, so he's confident to like contest that ward and actually take the 1 versus 2. That was crazy. But going to have to recall here on the Chunk. Very scared of a dive. Very scared of where On could be, because he could run top and dive on a Chunk as well.
True. I'm surprised that the Elise is not like a rush symbiotic souls when you have such a big timer on you.
Yeah.
You know, like part of the problem with Elise is that, yeah, she runs out of time. In any role, really.
If I see a symbiotic souls rush at least, like just in solo queue, I'm thinking they're running it down.
Dude, what's wrong with symbiotic souls?
I know it's good, it just looks like... And they're going to be stuck on symbiotic souls and base damage for so long.
Yeah. But you have high bases.
I understand. It's just one of those things, man. I just assumed that in thing. Yeah. You wouldn't get it. You wouldn't get it. You don't play solo queue. But
I mean, I would get it in solo queue for sure. Any support that can roam symbiotic souls in solo queue is so good. Because you get enhanced recall all game, and if you know how to rotate as a support in solo queue, you get to diamond easy. That's why I'm saying good as Photic cleanses away, flash from Zhuo, because he needs the space, but Cocoon follows him up. The chain CC is massive, and Wei now gets the first feat of strength locked in. as WeiWei came late.
Yeah, can't pull the trigger because if Vi goes in there, there's a Xin Zhao ulti, and he's not taking damage from Ezreal after that, so there's no burst to finish off Wei, even though the concussive blows are there. Now, the push is there. Can they dive 3 versus 2? That is the question. Braum is on the way too. I don't think they should. They should just crash this and back off.
Bin's just fighting it out. Yum. Zika's doing fine here, but Bin's pretty close to getting his Hollow Radiance. As soon as he has that, he has wave clear to push and move a little bit.
Yeah, the way this matchup works is just Galio favored the entire lane phase.
Yeah.
Galio is just too strong the entire time. The base damage on there on should be okay. You can always repel if needed.
What? The Elise? You're laughing?
Braum is contributing.
Yeah, he is.
Dashes forward and Q's a minion. I love that.
Nice.
Good effort.
Well, they get pushing at least to crash this wave because Varus went towards mid, I think. What was the movement there? No grubs up top.
I didn't notice actually what just happened.
He started walking towards mid, and I was always told, if you don't know where you're going, walk mid and then move. Yeah,
and if you're winning as well, you can walk mid and then decide because you'll have time. He didn't have time there. He was receiving a wave, so I don't know why he walked mid there. It just seems like a fumble. Sometimes pros just do things, and it's best not to ask questions because it's a mistake sometimes, you know?
Or they're just better than you, and you should just close your mouth and watch.
I wonder, like there was a deep ward that entire time.
Yeah.
Right? I wonder down in bot side, I wonder if there was a TP angle for Bin at any point there. Doesn't look like it. Varus is going to TP top lane.
Deep ward got nerfed here as what the hell happened?
I love this Corky cam.
Dude, I love it too. I'm going to press this just so we refresh. Hoo-yah.
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 All right.
Okay, we're back. We're fixed.
Yeah, On's going to be spotted out on a ward here, clearing out some vision, and they swap up top. This is an interesting grub setup that we don't see very often because it's TP AD carry. They can actually swap lanes faster than their counterparts. Swap lanes for this grub fight, down a combat summoner because they have TP.
What constitutes TP AD carry? Like, is it just because you don't need cleanse against this matchup, or you don't need like heal? Just tempo.
It's quite interesting. I mean, what you get is more scaling and the ability to back in lane very consistently, and clearly a grub swap, but you get less combat power. So cleanse, absolutely, you could take this as the Braum.
I guess with the least support, you've given more combat power, right? More dueling anyway.
Sure, but you'd think you would index into it and take something like heal, you know, or a cleanse, and go for the 1v1. But we've seen TP on Varus specifically a lot as well.
True.
So it seems like it's fine.
So you can see on Ezreal as well. I feel like those are two champions who've seen it on the most. Is you know, that top turret, almost a falling breeze to knock it down, while second round of grubs, not contested at the time being. It looks like LNG are nearby, but, I mean, BLG, they're going to take at least 2 of these. WeiWei is moving up the wave, or up the lane, rather. LNG are just going to forego this, and, I mean, outside of them getting an early dragon, it's just like last game. BLG, full grub priority. And, I mean, their rotations are slick. They're very early, Aragon. I think it's worth mentioning that BLG, like, they really prioritize this.
I really like how they move Elkan on around the map. I mean, this... Yeah, okay.
Okay. But maybe not
Maybe not Wei.
No, he's just dead. He jumps in, he heals. Bot can't get there in time. Shut down over to Zika. Shut down because he got the first 3 kills of the game.
Yeah, I mean, look, listen. The rest of the gameplay has been really fantastic. Haichao going to use his E to get some tower damage down, which is super nice. No grub damage, so it's not going to be a plating. But I like what they've done this entire early game. They've consistently moved around on and played around him as well with the Elise, diving down bot side and then TPing up to contest grubs and securing all 6. This is not what we've seen out of the worst Elises in the league, because they've just either not gone to lead, like throwback to the 20-minute 0-1-0 Elise from Moham.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Completely worthless. Actually becomes a cocoon bot afterwards. You've got to move the bot lane around and contest objectives and dives.
Ooh, they can fight this though, can't they? Because LNG just took a heavy chunk from mid. Even though Dragon might go down, Haichao has to ulti out and WeiWei just gets forced out. That's what happens when Photic runs into a Corky. They get the feat of strength off it as well and yoink the Dragon. I mean, it's those small things that have such big game impacts.
Yeah, an absolute classic Tabai Phage Corky full tank.
Yep.
Just 1v2ing. Gosh, that's silly. But it's going to be so effective as the Vi, Yone, and the Ezreal, so it makes sense. Now down to bot side. Can anyone walk up and soak XP? They have TP on Zika if they want to contest. Zika could TP from top side, and then it'll be 4v3. But this 6 grub is going to do work. They have to decide. LNG.
He's doing so much, you're right.
They have TP flanks in the backside as well, but
Zhuo doesn't have ulti. Zhuo doesn't have ulti. He just used it. Turret's gone. Now they can get with the rest. And with Chains of Corruption locking down Zhuo, I mean, again, this guy has no summoners. He just burnt it. Hail of Arrows close to getting a kill. Bishop Rush does some work while Bin versus Zika. Exactly what you expect. He's got a Hollow Radiance, so feeling confident in the 1v1. Zika's slowly working him down, but it's going to take a little bit more than that as Bin does take an Electro Harpoon or two. There's the equalizer under turret. Bin flashes away, shield ran. Doesn't work out. Zika with the solo kill, and that's not what we normally see in the lane.
That's absolutely not what we normally see in the lane. To be fair, he's been the recipient of ganks and flash pops, but very nice pick up from Zika. The Conqueror doing absolute work there. Leandri's completion as well, and flashes forward to get the kill. Bin cannot handle the DPS. Super nice.
On's going to try and clean up the kill. He's got flash available, but nope. Even with the Elise, no one else in the brush. He's at turret. He's fine. He's out of range. So LNG fight fire with fire a little bit in this top lane as we look at the replay.
Yeah, so Bin actually engages here into bone plating, does a short trade, and this is the type of trade that Galio actually usually wins, but he sticks around. He has no aftershock. He doesn't just walk back to his tower and wait for his cooldowns. He's taking free damage between his cooldowns, which is really bad. He comes up and he actually dashes away, but by now it's a bit doomed, it's a bit cooked. The magic resist shred from the harpoons.
That rumble noise needs to stop.
Yeah.
That rumble noise. WeiWei ulti onto the Elise, and they're found on. He can't get up into the rappel until now. He's buying time, but 4 members of LNG sit, wait. The ult from Haichao misses, but in the end, he still gets the kill. So, punish onto on this Elise. Once again, not having the most stellar early game, I could say.
Yeah, but like, does that death? How much does that mean? Right,
Okay.
and the reality is it doesn't mean too much. Ults are down now. He's going to be back on the map because of the Hextech portals very soon. With his wards up and available, and it's going to be before the objective. Again, Rift Herald spawning in a minute's time. They have time. So the death doesn't really mean too much. Resources used for LNG, and it's just to pick onto a support. Now, they can retake, re-get the push. They have to handle the mid wave. They have to handle the top wave, and they're sending Corki up top, Knight up top, and they're going to escort him with a bunch of visions.
Still a 1k gold lead on an lethality Varus too.
Yeah.
I will mention the poke on this comp is going to be exceptional.
Obscene.
Yeah. So it's going to be fun to watch how Rumble Ezreal play.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be like a case of hard engage and dive with the Vi combo, the Yone combo, and the Rumble ult.
Hello there, sets up. Haichao gets back, and Knight just goes past turret. He flushes past, ignoring everything, gets a shutdown. Now WeiWei stuck in the middle. They're bringing a TP in as well. This is a full-blown fight. Look at where they are behind enemy lines. Wei is drawing attention, but for the Galio ult, that's a one-man. They'll get a lockdown. It's a trade again. BLG have gotten shutdown after shutdown, but LNG have reciprocated and responded in suit. 4 members now angling over the wall here as Haichao and WeiWei, they're dead. Without pursuit, it ends there, and BLG are here for the Herald to spawn.
And LNG, they know, sorry, BLG, they know that LNG do not have any ultimate cooldowns because they just used all their ults to kill on this Elise a minute ago, right? So BLG actually take it. They time the ultimates. They time everything that was used, and they decide we can actually fight it. Even if it's a bit scuffed, even with down numbers, the spells aren't there to actually fight. So good, like, heads-up play around ultimate cooldowns, and this is why I was concerned by the fact that LNG committed so much onto On to pick up a support when it's a kind of an empty kill. There were no objectives on the map. So here, look at this fight. Great engagement on. He's completely confident to go in. Level 6 to 12. Doesn't matter. The base damage is there. Wei picks up the kill here, I believe. No, sorry. It was Knight to finish off with the rockets. Now, WeiWei has no ulti
step
either.
Up from Knight, by the way.
An ultless WeiWei on this vibe? Useless, right? Now they're down numbers, but it's not even going to be that bad. Wei gets Galio ulted. The TP finally comes through, and there's just no damage. Because like I said, these kind of compositions, they're shotgun compositions.
Yeah.
You blow your load on Vi ultimate, Rumble ultimate, and Yone ultimate on a target. And you make sure you pick a target off. When you're in the kind of these scrappy fights without your cooldowns, you're useless.
And when you're in a choke with Varus and Corki as well, mind you.
Yeah.
Like when you have very straight line ultis or things like Q for Varus, right? Very easy to hit.
Yeah.
I think we kind of saw there as well. At least also, Storm Surge picked up now, by the way.
Yeah.
But the thing about On is, even if we get past this early game state where a lot of people I know are like, at least can be useless. And while that's true in theory, Cocoon is still utility. Like, there is still lockdown, and there's still a variety of bursts where On hasn't really fallen that far behind. He's been able to pick up a bit of assist, so he gets assist gold. So I'm going to pause, because Herald's going to be used. Chains of Corruption misses a bit of a whiff, but they've isolated WeiWei for Wei, and now both Weis are out of the way as concussive blows are stacking up on Wei, and WeiWei has to queue out. There he goes down that way. Meanwhile, Bin is up this way, and that turret's going to drop out of the way with third turret, by the way, for BLG. Dropping it down.
First turret. Very good. Towards the feet of strength. Actually, no. It's a lot of turrets. I am cooked. And I couldn't figure out a way to say way more without saying no way, and I didn't want to do that.
But this is the only way, isn't it? People in chat saying no way. Ain't no way.
See, exactly. That's a good one, chat.
When I used to cast these duo, like WeiWei versus Wei, remember that BLG had Big Wei. No, was it No Way? No, who was the...
I also thought of the champion Wei, but that wasn't... They're not locked in.
We should have had Wayward top.
Oh my god.
Wayward top with Wei or WeiWei. And then Big Wei, the coach. And then there's... Wait, is there a No Way? There's a No Way who's like an analyst or something, isn't it?
No, No Way's a German streamer who plays in the NLC.
Oh, maybe No Way should coach BLG then. That'd be good.
Maybe he should. Or not.
It's like the oldest joke in LPL right now because it's about 2 years. 2 years old.
And I bet everyone hates it.
You know, people told me I should stop saying, "This is the way." They said, "Stop talking."
Knuckles me. Knuckles me. They said, "This is the way."
Yeah. Everyone's like, "You should stop saying that." I'm like, "Okay, then I'll stop that."
Yeah, it's not a good meme.
Vi in Chinese is pronounced as Wei. No way. That's not true.
That's just a lie.
Oi, Photic almost dead. Elk is gigantic. And it also makes it hard for Vi when you have, not Knight's Vow, Edge of Night picked up as well.
I mean, look, listen, the problem is LNG, they have to land the dive. And if they do not land the dive, then the range advantage, like you said, with the poke is going to be too much. They also have disengage for the dive. I think range advantage plus the ability to keep space is a crazy, like, core composition that BLG have drafted here. And who's the coach of BLG?
Well, EasyHoon, isn't it?
It's EasyHoon, right?
Is EasyHoon head coach or just coach?
These drafts have been beautiful, by the way.
But EasyHoon is...
Whoever drafts for BLG, they've done work. They've got such beautiful disengage with a range advantage, which is just such an insane 1-2 combo.
Oh, yeah, Maokai's head coach, that's right. And
Maokai.
Maokai was EDG for a bit, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. But these drafts, Game 1 and Game 2, have been phenomenal. Now, it's also player gap.
Yeah, true.
But really, really nice. Now, Atakan, do they want to accelerate with the Elise on their team? It'd be very optimistic to be able to do it straight away, because of the fact that you have X-Tech portals, you can always get to Atakan with loads of flank positions as well.
Remember, it was Big Wei, actually. Sorry.
Big Wei.
Big Wei was the coach last year at Worlds. And then EasyHoon also, but yeah. EasyHoon again, Maokai, who in the past, again...
Wait, Big Wei? Is that translated? Is it Da Wei? Because then it'd be Da Wei.
Oh, shut up. I shouldn't be so rude to you. I started it. He said, wait, Chad, is it Dalway? It's not, is it? Well, speaking of, Wei's just going to get run into. Good Crescent Guard. That actually just negates everything. Good poke from Elk in response. Hexgate going to be used to get out. And Knight, now that he pops his head in, it's all because they're positioning around Atakan top, trying to find that pick that leads to it. While, don't forget, Bin also has TP, so anyone can join anytime from both teams, with all teleports actually up and available.
Yep. So nice bit of disengage there. I mean, they're fishing for something. If they find something, they want to force their gold advantage. If they want to find a pick, they can always disengage with the Xin Zhao R, and then they land poke in response. It's not a big investment. You know, I think BLG are really, really good about their resources and how much they invest into different plays. And Wei's going to get on out of there. Don't commit to the Atacon unless they find a pick, and it's not going to be ruinous. It's going to be voracious again.
Rough spot for LNG. Like, I mean, it's a gold lead, but look, it's like, it's not insurmountable, right? Because their layering is nice.
It's not insurmountable. They can match range with the Ezreal, but like, as I said, the composition has to land the dive. It's not a rough spot. This is where they spike in the early to mid-game transition, the mid-game as well. They've just got to execute now the dive. And WeiWei has to be on it with the engages, because if WeiWei does not get the Vial on the right target, then Haichao and Zika cannot play.
Okay.
They need to land their spells over the top of WeiWei's ult, so it's all on WeiWei.
I remember, by the way, Maokai, the head coach, who Big Wei is... Oh, sorry, yeah, Big Wei is actually inactive on this roster currently. Maokai was the EDG champion coach. Remember 2021? So that's what I think of him mostly for. Spent 3 years on EDG, was top esports last year for a portion of the year, and then now, of course, coming over to BLG. So, bit of experience on this roster. You know, LNG on the other side. I need to look at their coaching stuff because there's something I'm kind of interested in. I will tell you that this game...
It's going to be a bleed out into Dragons.
It does feel like it. I was going to say, like, objective setup is great for BLG, and they are very strong right now. Two items
It's quite interesting. They're set up on the Dragons, the Atacon here. Look at what they're doing. Right, they ward over these specific points over and over again, trying to prep in case they get a pick, and then they can see the flanks. in the lane and then over this wall, because that's a pretty nasty dash over the wall angle. I imagine now what they're going to do is that Atacon setup was just in case they got a pick, they could start it up, and on any planet that would happen, and they would have. But now they're going to transition all their attention to Dragon. After potentially a fight here, WeiWei is going to engage on Wei.
They just hit each other for a bit. You see the poke coming out. Chance Corruption flushed away from there. It's a Crescent Guard because the equalizer's down. So no damage being done by Zika because he ain't in the circle. A couple of ultis down, especially the Vi ulti. I feel like that's big.
Yeah. I mean, Xin Zhao is so good into champions that outrange him because of this. They have to go melee range, and it's only really valuable into the Vi there. So going to negate the entirety of a Rumble as well as Photic's poke in his range. I really like it. And again, it's a lot invested from LNG for very little in return. Do
you know one of LNG's coaches while we wait for this to play out is also Xiaopeng? So Xiaopeng used to be DMO's jungler. DMO is the team that Gala actually debuted in like 2020 summer.
Okay.
And DMO, Dominus became, I can't remember who they turned into. Maybe like a Vici. No, Vici was already there. Maybe like a Rare Atom or an Ultra Prime.
07 Rare Atom.
It's one of those teams. But Dominus DMO, Xiaopeng was a really good Lee Sin, like one of the best Lee Sins in the league. They became TT, thank you very much. So DMO, that was an exciting team because they had they played a lot of Sword and Shield style drafts where they played. It means like Chalitza, the top lane at the time, played a lot of Sion.
Okay, so front to back.
And Gala came in and played like Kai'Sa, like Kai'Sa and big scaling 80 carries. Yeah. Yeah, exciting stuff. I have to tell you all that, Xiaopeng, for me, was a jungler who kind of never hit the highs that I feel like he should have hit.
Yeah.
I feel like he could have hit the highs of, TN, in his prime. Yeah, that's what I personally think. The legend of Xiaopeng, that's right, Captain Capaton.
There's so much LPL lore I need to catch up on. It's so interesting.
It's so hard because even when I joined in 2019 LPL, when I came in the Raz Clement Chu roster,
there was lore then.
Bro, you have to go back to 2013, and they were talking about EDG RNG back in the day, and then people were talking about the San roster and OMG, the one that had Going and Loveling.
Yeah.
And then there was the LGD of 2015, and it was like,
I remember that LGD. That was the first Worlds I watched.
Was that Acorn roster? Was that?
That was
who was the top laner? No.
Was that
Marin?
Imp roster? Or am I tripping?
Imp was on Samsung White in 2014.
Oh, which one am I thinking of? LGD?
Because Imp was on JDG in 2019. That's way forward. This is old. This is for the old men and women in chat.
Yeah.
But that's, the LPL lore, you got to go back. It's so hard.
They chunked in the jungle. They chunked away Zhuo, who's trying to face check and take forward vision.
Zhuo, yeah.
And now the TP is going to have to come through as Barom walks the lane with the portals.
They do it so slow, though, with Lethality Virus.
So, yeah, and it's relative to how fast LNG can get on the map again. The portals are there.
All Flash Cocoon lands everything in. Chains of Corruption. This is the fight for BLG. Bin layers in as the Equalizer is so damn back, and Zhuo comes in now, but he's too late to the show. He can't disengage. A double kill instantly, and LNG are wiped partially, but enough for BLG to reconsider the objectives.
Yep. So now they're going to start it all up. I love On's Elise. It's actually really, really good. Yeah. And now someone in the chat said maybe they can win with Teemo support as well. Man, that might be true, but he's actually showcasing the strength of the champion really, really well. I think the Flash Cocoon there was sick, showcasing the E-Flash interaction. They've reworked now. And finding the snap engage was really, really good onto Rumble. So they can't land the dive. And it's going to be Atacon in response. Now, I do think it was very risky Atacon because of the portals being on the map faster. But they're going to convert it dry into Dragon. They can turn here.
Oh, onto the Baron. I mean, this turn could just be the team fight win, LGD or LNG. I'm thinking about Peanut and watching chat at the same time.
WeiWei can't get in the pit.
His
Q is out.
It is LNG you have to run out, and it is LNG who once again are losing out here in the mid-game. Big gold lead, Baron Atacon secured.
Yeah, so someone was talking in the chat about the LGD roster, the 2015, and it was Pain Evil. And my favorite thing in esports, by far, is the nicknames Twitch chat gives to players that mock them. So Pain Evil turned to Plat Evil. It's like there's so many good ones.
Bro, there's Godv.
Yeah,
no, wait, LGD back in the day.
Godv went to Gold 5.
Yeah, he went to Gold 5. Do you know he became a PUBG pro player?
Really?
Yeah, he went to PUBG. I think he's PUBG Mobile. But he literally became a PUBG player.
There's a PUBG specifically
Yo, Babkis, welcome. Yeah, he I think it was either PUBG or PUBG. Yeah, he definitely became a PUBG player. That was like the either Acorn, Marin roster. No, but 2020 LGD was Peanut and Kramer. Different roster.
Can we talk about Knight's health bar?
Sure, we can.
It's big.
Yeah, he's got BT.
That's a very big health bar there for Knight. I mean, they have the revives. How do LNG pilot this? They have to wave clear, but they have none.
They get poked out.
Do they drop Equalizer to wave clear? But they need it as part of their core fighting combo. So they're not going to.
Haichao probably needs to get back, by the way, because Baron's pushing through mid. Inhibitors
BLG's
down.
just going to end.
They might just...
Wait a minute.
He's getting objective bounty, but they've lost the Nexus turret, and the fight is blowing out of the water. Zhuo is dead instantly.
Haichao, my guy, your base is getting exploded.
They still have revives for 40 seconds. They can dive this last Nexus turret. No. I mean, this commit to side lanes was not worth it in the end. And Haichao, even as he comes back and gets a good fate sealed, even as Equalizer layers down, remember BLG with the revives, can come right back in. Those revives go for 25 more seconds. They get Haichao as they expire, and guess what? Bin might not have the TP, but the rest of the team does. And even though Wei drops down, no, he doesn't. They just take him down anyway. Haichao, bro. Yeah, the commit on sides was not worth it. It's match point for BLG.
LNG, I know what they were thinking. They were like, we can't rumble up to wave clear. We need it for the fight. So we don't rumble up to wave clear, but then they don't fight, and then they just lose the game.
We woke up at 6 a.m. to just watch BLG maybe 3-0. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, boy. No rush. That's right, Babkis.
It is what it is.
You know, as we reflect on old rosters,